Hey everybody, zjayfi here. I'm just doing a quick addendum to the video that I made yesterday. I put it up on Facebook, I sent it out to my clients, sent it out to some other people, and for the most part it was pretty well received. Some people got the wrong impression, and I kind of want to clear that up in this video, and I also wanted to specifically address some versatile other options that I didn't really have time to go into the other day. Mostly what I want to make clear here is that I am selling the concept here of repurposing future initiative for however you would want to repurpose it for your team to whatever situational utility that you have for it. I am not suggesting that you take this exact loadout into the DZ. First off, I'm not a PvP player. I don't do PvP builds. I'm not a very good PvP player. I usually get my ass kicked in the dark zone when I go in there. I very rarely ever go in there. I don't play conflict. So no, I am not suggesting you take this build into the dark zone at all. What I am suggesting is that you take this concept and run with it. Figure out how to use this idea for your team, because I don't care how great you are at PvP, I don't care how great you are at conflict, there is no one who can just shit off 25% extra damage for their whole team for anyone that's at full health. Anyone who has that advantage is at a significant step above any team that does not have that, and I don't see how anyone could argue with that. 25% starting damage, you get the drop on somebody, that is a monster head start you've just got yourself off to in PvP and DZ, conflict, whatever it might be. But it's also good in PvP, and that's PvE, and that's what I'm going to go over is some of the options that this would be good with, you know, in the raid or in other types of scenarios. Someone told me that this isn't a very versatile concept, and I think maybe they misunderstood it like the DZ people did, thinking that, oh, you have to set it up exactly like this. There's only one way to set it up, but there's a million ways you could set this up for PvE. And keep in mind, that's what I'm selling here, PvE, not the dark zone. I'm sure someone is going to figure out how to set this up properly for a DZ team, and it is not going to be long. I'm willing to bet within 3 days of the new title update coming out, someone is going to have a full-on PvP version of this build. I don't know if it's going to be a tank, if it's going to be skill, or if it's going to be DPS, but somebody is going to figure out how to put this onto a PvP build. It's not going to be me. I'm not going to do it. What I want to talk about is other ways that you could set this up. So, for example, in the Dark Hours raid, for the first boss, we always run a raid medic to give us the 15% additional damage. But then we also run an opportunistic build, right? So that means we have 7 DPS people and we have 1 full medic. Well, what if I just took these two and combined them? I put in the future initiative chest. I put in the opportunistic backpack. And since I'm going to be standing still, now I've got a slot open. I'm going to be standing still, right, as I'm shooting Lieutenant Gray. He comes out. We melee his buddies, and then we just stand still and smoke him. So what if we were to put in the Sawyer's knee pads? Now as I'm standing still, I've got 30% additional damage. I'm giving 10% additional damage to the team, plus the 25 from the 3-piece. But you could do this another way if you wanted to. Like, let's say you wanted to go with Coyote's mask. You could do that too. This is an extremely versatile setup, and there's all kinds of things that you could do with it. You could, where's my future? You could set it up with an exotic holster and then put in the Regulus. There's a million different ways that you could set this up for the DPS. Oh, keep in mind that if you are going to set it up, with opportunistic, you have to put in the SVD, and since you're going to want to melee one of the guys, probably be Sweet Dreams as well. You probably wouldn't want to be one of the shotgun melee guys for Lieutenant Gray, because, well, if you're going to run the Sawyers, you wouldn't want to be one of the shotgun melee guys, because you want to be standing still to start that stack. All right, so what about another way? What if we wanted to run this as full-on skill build? Okay. Now I don't have any future initiative pieces with skill damage on them, but I could just run over the table and write skill damage over all these. It'd mean destroying my medic build, but I could. I'm not going to do it just for the sake of the video. But imagine if you were running something like... Actually, what if we put in the Sawyer's knee pads on this one? Oh, I don't have a yellow. Okay, there we go. Actually, you'd need a tier... You want a tier 6 skill build, wouldn't you? So you'd be better off like this. Or maybe even... and then you could put in... You could put in contractor's gloves. I don't know. There's a lot. No, you still want the... You'd still want the skill tier. So you'd want to put yourself in... oh, no, we'd be good here. We'd be good like this. We have skill tier 6. So you're running 4-piece future initiative. I'm giving 25% to the whole crew. I've still got my perfect combined arms. I've still got in sync. Oh, you'd want to put on... oops. Put your assault turret in there. Yeah, so something like this would work. Or I don't have a yellow future initiative piece, but imagine this was a future initiative piece. You could put something like that in there. That way you're still running tier 6. You're in cover most of the time anyway, so you're stacking yourself up your 30% weapon damage the entire time you're immobile and covered. You're letting your skills do all the work, shooting every 3 seconds for perfect combined arms. Or, you know, you could actually put in like tech support. I don't think I have a tech support on me, but you could do something like that. So a 4-piece with tech support and Sawyer's in a skill damage build. Now my whole team of skill damage players is rocking and rolling with 25% extra skill damage. More than they could carry by themselves. Or what about something like this? Now the biggest part of this, right, is everybody needs to be at full health the whole time. Well, the best way to stay at full health is to run yourself a protective shield. So here's a focus build with a protective shield in it. What if you were to do something like that? You could run vigilance, you could run companion here. You probably want to go ahead and get yourself a Cheska and Grupo for this so that you would hit harder. But if I'm running 4 DPS people through a, say, you know, a heroic mission, legendary mission, I'm running the shield, I'm running the 4-piece. We got 15% extra here. If you wanted to set it up a different way, maybe you want to put in your overlords and set this up like this. There's your 25% right there. And now I've got this shield protecting me the whole time that I'm shooting. I've still got like probably 3/4 of a DPS player, right? So now instead of having 3 DPS players and a medic, which is 3 DPS, we have 3 3/4 DPS players, which mathematically over the course of a mission is absolutely going to be worth it. So there's just a couple of ideas right off the top of my head that I think make this an exceptionally versatile idea. Now, I still think that you could also set this up. Oops, what if you set this up like this with a, where's my forge? There's my forge. Imagine where's my future initiative? There we go. Once again, you'll have to imagine that these yellow gloves are future initiative gloves. Future initiative backpack. Future initiative mask. Remember, shield is a skill. So what if oh, why does it do this every single time? Yes, I get it. Still on cooldown? Really? So if we were to set this up with a bulwark shield and a liberty. Now imagine these are all future initiative pieces, right? And you rolled all 4 of these blue. You've got yourself not the greatest tank ever, mind you. This is not a great tank. This is not a DZ tank. This is not a PvP tank. I'm talking about a heroic, legendary mission, even in the raid, this would probably be good enough. If you had blues all over these, you've got your blue bulwark shield. You're not going to be taking a whole lot of damage behind this bulwark shield. You've got Vanguard for your team, got a nice healthy shield, and you've got a nice chunk of damage behind that shield with your Liberty pistol. There's a million different ways you could set this up. Once again, what I am selling here is the concept. I am not saying that this particular build should be dragged into the DZ. That is insane. And some people got straight up salty that I would even suggest it. But the thing is, though, I didn't suggest it. What I suggested was that everybody take this concept. The concept is what I'm selling here. The concept that you repurpose future initiative so that it buffs your fire team. Obviously, this is for a PvE DPS crew. This is not for a DZ team. You will have to figure out how to best buff a DZ team, and I promise you somebody's working on it right now after they just wrote some smarmy ass comments all over my Facebook post on this. So anyway, thanks a lot for your time. I appreciate you watching. I'm glad I was able to hopefully clear up the air for a little bit of you. You have to put your own twist on this. This is just my twist for PvE DPS crew. This is not what you would take into the dark zone. Thanks a bunch for watching. Have a good night.